Come here, Boo. Boo, you look so good, Boo. Boo, you look so good, baby Boo.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Boo, Sammy, Richard, Nancy, Goldie, Ziggy, Ringo, Eva, Hydrox, and Ditto, the Lucky Ferals.
It is 12:39 a.m. There's Ringo. He's looking out the window. And I think that's Ziggy. She's looking out of this window. And I just got back from the animal hospital, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes ago. And I just gave all the cats some crunchies as a little snack, some fresh water, and I am eating a popsicle before I go to bed. Here's Goldie. So Boo is at the animal hospital. He could be there for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. They don't know. They will be administering fluids to him to try to bring his kidney values down. Hopefully that'll work. And they're going to run some other tests to try to figure out, the cause of his kidney issues right now. The vet that I talked to there today was very, very nice, very knowledgeable. She has more than 20 years experience. And she said it could be a whole different variety of things. It could be a UTI, it could be kidney stones, it could be cancer, it could just be congenital, a genetic with him. It could be, kidney failure. It could, be a whole bunch of different things. So they are going to be running tests. She said he was behaving really, really well.
There's lots of different reasons why cats will have elevated kidney values. Right now, his kidneys are not working normally.
Yeah.
When you are dehydrated, your kidney values will go up, but your urine will be really, really concentrated because the body's trying to conserve water.
Yeah.
And he is not doing that.
Okay.
He's losing water through his urinary tract, and that's probably causing some dehydration.
Yeah.
And he's more thirsty to try and fix
it.
Yeah. So we can see this happen with chronic scarring in the kidney, so old age type changes.
Yeah.
We can see it with kidney stones where there's kind of an obstructive process.
Yeah.
We can see it with cancers. We can see it with infections up in the kidneys. We can see it with congenital problems, and sometimes they can be born with kidneys that are abnormal. I'm mentioning this is a weird one, but I'm mentioning it specifically because people have noted his kidneys were a little bit large and throughout his life. So it's possible for them to just be a little bit abnormal, but then you add in aging. And together, they weren't starting at 100%, and so they lose a little bit because of aging, and then the two things together mean that they develop kidney disease sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
So a lot of different things could be going on.
Yeah.
I would recommend that we admit him to the hospital. Our goal would be to try and flush out his kidneys and bring his kidney values down as low as possible. I would do a few more tests trying to determine underlying cause. If there's a kidney infection, sometimes we have reasonably good success and we can gain a lot of ground, with treatment. For the other types of causes, it's a little bit more hit or miss.
Yeah.
Stones, I should say. Stones sometimes we're successful with as well as we dislodge the stones. But aging changes and cancers and things like that are not going to be as good.
Yeah.
We can manage those things for some amount of time, but it's not something that we're going to really be able to cure.
Yeah.
So we would keep him until we thought that his kidney values were as low as they could be. So sometimes that could mean that we get them all the way back down to normal.
Yeah.
In other cases, we get them down, they're feeling better, they feel like eating, they're clinically doing better, but the values are not normal.
Yeah.
And in those cases, then we often will continue with care at home by doing things like fluids under the skin.
Yeah.
That can be something challenging to do with some patients. The way he is here, he's such a sweetheart.
That's how he is with strangers.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I don't know if you'd be able to do it at home or not, but we could teach you how to do it and you could try.
Yeah.
If that were needed.
Yeah.
In most cases, it is needed, but not all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I have like 2 of my neighbors do rescues.
Oh, okay.
We live right across the street from the woods. All
Yeah.
my cats are rescues.
Okay.
He was a rescue. He was a feral rescue.
So you have some support and
So
help if you need it.
They've off, like one of them especially. She's like, if you ever need help with fluids, let
Right.
me know, because
Perfect.
they do that.
Yep.
And like one of my other friends had to give her cat fluids.
Yeah.
But like I said, Boo took me 2 hours to get him in carrier today.
Wow.
Yeah,
All right.
he's strong and
So
feisty.
he's maybe not showing his true colors to us.
Oh no, he's a ladies' man.
Okay.
Especially with strangers.
Yeah.
So he's probably like so happy right now. Like I had family over for Easter and they were like, "There's nothing wrong with your cat."
Yeah.
Like he was like, I'm like, no, he's just not eating right. So yeah, I mean that's a bridge I would cross, and I'm sure I'd be able to manage that somehow.
So yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, I did have a question. Like, would a high protein diet cause kidney stones in a cat?
Diet can definitely impact kidney stones. There's lots.
But he would have pain if he had kidney stones, wouldn't he?
Some cats don't always show pain the same way we do. Some of them are much more resilient, and they can't verbalize it.
Yeah.
So not always.
And he's a tough guy.
Yeah.
So he's Mr. Strong.
Yeah.
I was just wondering because because my previous cat, the one that passed away in December, she had slightly elevated blood glucose.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was restricting carbs,
Yeah.
which tends to be like a more high protein, high fat
Right.
diet. So that's why I was wondering if that would affect his kidneys, because some people say
Yes, the high protein can definitely affect the kidneys. Kidneys have a little bit of trouble dealing with excessive amounts of protein.
Yeah.
So we're going to deal with what we need to now. I would not necessarily tell someone not to have their cat on a high protein diet if their kidney values had been normal at that point,
Yeah,
So,
I was just wondering because I'm like, what are the chances like two cats like with major issues after going on this switching to higher protein?
Yeah. Well, so the types of things we would be watching, we'd be watching the anemia.
Yeah.
There's a very significant chance that the anemia is truly a bit worse than it looks on blood work, just because even though he's drinking, he is a bit dehydrated.
Yeah.
And that means that the values sometimes can be more concentrated than they really are. So once we get them on fluids and rehydrate them, sometimes the red blood cell count value will drop. Doesn't necessarily mean they're truly more anemic, it just means that's what their real value was.
Yeah.
Anemia, as you already mentioned, it is really common with kidney disease, so that won't be surprising at all. He is not acting clinical for the anemia right now. It's I suspect that it's still going to be a mild anemia.
Yeah.
I don't suspect it's going to be severe at this point, but it is something we need to watch for the future.
Yeah.
We definitely want to watch the kidney values and the electrolytes. Kidney cats will often have low potassium. He does not right now, but that's something we're going to have to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
We'll want to check his blood pressure periodically and make sure that stays okay. High blood pressure is a really big issue for them. We would want to do an abdominal ultrasound to look to see if we see any evidence of what the underlying cause is. And we'd want to do a urine culture to try and see whether or not there's any evidence of infection. So those would be all the different things that we'd be looking for. So from here, if this seems like something you're interested in, which I assume since you're here, then I'll write you up an estimate and we can see, how the plan works, okay?
Yeah, that would be great.
All right.
And so do you have any idea, what would he be here for, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days?
I would say anywhere between probably 3 and 5.
3 and 5, okay.
Yeah. So it just depends. Every day, we would know more. The first 24 hours, quite frankly, usually you're not seeing much of a budge in the numbers. I'm always very discouraged if the numbers go up. That's going to be bad, obviously. If the numbers are getting worse, yes. It's most often in, really sudden cases where, there's lots of different reasons why it could happen.
Well,
but
if someone ate poison or something?
Sure, or just if something bad is going on right at that moment, and, we're just behind, we're trying to catch up to the process that's going on.
Yeah.
So if the numbers go up, that's going to be really bad. If the numbers stay the same for the first 24 hours, it doesn't really tell me that much yet. And then any amount that the numbers are improving, I'm going to be more optimistic. But you have to put that together with what the other tests are showing us. So
Yeah.
so we'll get more information every day that goes by.
So basically, he would just be here like on a fluid,
He would be on fluids, some medications to help his stomach. So hopefully he'll start eating.
So you guys are gonna feed him?
Yes, we will feed him.
Feeding tube or just feeding?
I'm just offering him food to start.
Okay.
And I won't do it tonight because he's going to have the ideally, he's going to have the ultrasound in the morning. And so I want his stomach to be empty so they can see everything. Yeah. But then after that, they'll definitely offer him food. And usually, as you said, fed is best. So we're going to give him lots of options for things to eat. In the long run, we want him on the kidney diets. But in the short term, we just want him to get calories in.
Yeah. Did you guys weigh him when he came?
He was 13.36.
Okay.
So, okay. Just give me a few minutes and I'll write up that estimate.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And the estimate for this trip to the animal hospital was somewhere between $6,000 and $12,000. So what I did the other day was, while I was waiting for the test results, I opened up a care credit. I think it's like the care credit card. And they gave me a credit limit of a little more than $10,000. So what I did today was I put the deposit on that. They put like $6,000 deposit on it. And with the care credit, it gives me 6 months to pay it off without interest, which would be great. So that's why I chose to use that. I'm hoping Boo does okay. They say that the first 24 hours of administering fluids are usually like the most crucial. Then they'll see if the numbers are going to go down, if the numbers are going to just stay stable for 24 hours or potentially even go up, which, could indicate complications. They said that he's going to be kept in a special feline-only unit because he seemed to be stable. But if he becomes unstable, then they'll move him to the critical care unit. The critical care unit is what I saw when I was there with Stella. So it's like a room with like cages all around it. She said there's cats on one side, dogs on the other side. So it's not as peaceful for them as the feline-only unit, but the cats need to be more stable to be in the feline-only unit. But just the fact that they have one is great. And he was doing really well with everyone. So I said, can I see him before I leave? And she said, sure, someone will bring him in. So the triage nurse brought him in, and he was wrapped up in a blanket, and he had a cone around his neck, like a cone around his head. And his eyes were all big because he was scared. But then when he saw me, he was just so happy. So she left him in the room with me. And as soon as the door shut, he didn't want to be in the blanket anymore. He didn't even want to be on the exam table. He was trying to get off. He was just trying to get out of there. I had to restrain him and hold him down on the table basically, because he was just I want to get out of here. I just don't want to be here. So I thought that was a good indication that he had a lot of strength and energy and he was acting normal. And Boo, he doesn't want to wear that thing around his head. But when he's with people like the women that work there, he was on his best behavior and he was, cooperating with them and following their instructions. So at least that's good. So I'm just hoping and, praying that everything works out and he responds to the treatments. And, I'm hoping it's just a quick and easy fix for him, or even if it's not, let's just hope that he becomes stable and he could come home again, because that would just, then we could work on, getting him onto a diet for what he needs and, try to extend his life as much as possible. Right, Sammy? We're going to be focusing on quality of life. Right, Sammy? So I'm glad I was able to get him there tonight. I'm hoping I'll be able to get some sleep. And, that's all we could do. They said that a doctor should be calling me sometime tomorrow after 9:30 a.m. And that usually the most critical patients get the first phone calls. And, the later that they call me, the better. It means, he's doing better. So we'll see. It does make me nervous because, when I left Stella there, I got the phone call at, 5 o'clock in the morning that she wasn't doing well. So hopefully Boo will, do really well overnight. And, so I'm just going to spend a little time with the cats and then go to bed and try to get some sleep. Another thing I should mention is that so far, I haven't been gripped with anxiety today over this. I've just been, in deal with it mode. I've kind of reverted back to what I was talking about the other day, where I just feel like this calmness has come over me, and I just feel like centered and balanced, and, I just have to do what I have to do, that kind of thing. I think it does help that I've been taking rescue remedies. I've also been eating the theanine candy. So while I was at the animal hospital, I was alternating between rescue remedy, theanine candies, and gingins, the ginger candies. And I think it really helps. Like the ginger candies I take so I don't get nauseous. I didn't get nauseous. I also brought potato chips with me, which I was snacking on, and water. And the L-theanine I take to help just like relax me. And then the rescue remedy is like anti-stress. So I think the combination of all three was super, super helpful. Here's Simba. He keeps running away from me. Like right now, Simba's afraid of me. He's under the day sofa in Boo's room, but every time I see him, he runs away. He's really hiding from me right now. I think he's afraid I'm going to take him somewhere, because I just took Boo somewhere. It's been a lot for the cats. Between Stella and then Sammy and then Simba went to the animal hospital last week, and, today Boo. So it's been a lot. But thankfully I didn't have to spend 6 hours at the animal hospital today. I was only there for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Right, Simba? You're okay, Simba. You're okay, all right? You're okay. It is 1:20 a.m. and I want to have a little talk with Simba before I go to bed, because I know Simba's upset about Boo, because Simba and Boo are buddies. Simba, Boo's okay. You know where you went last week? The animal hospital where you went last week? That's where Boo is, okay? And they're keeping him there because they're giving him medicine, okay? They're making him feel better because he hasn't been feeling good recently, Simba. So they're giving him some medicine, and they're going to do some tests, and they're going to see why he hasn't been feeling good, Simba, okay? So don't worry about Boo, okay? Don't worry about him. He's doing okay, and hopefully he should be back home in a few days, okay, Simba? So he's in very good hands. They're taking good care of him. Remember the nice doctors and nurses that saw you there? Yeah, you remember them. They were very nice to you, right, Simba? You like them a lot. And now they're taking care of Boo. They're going to take care of Boo. All right? So you relax. So something else that I wanted to mention, which I really think is helping me not have anxiety this time, is the fact that I sat in the sun today. I got a whole bunch of vitamin D. I sat in the sun yesterday. I got a whole bunch of vitamin D. So now that the weather's warmer and we're not in the middle of winter, I've been, getting sunshine and vitamin D, and I know for a fact that has completely been lowering my anxiety levels, if not eliminating them entirely. So I know that's been helpful, and I really think that that is one of the key differences, because in the middle of winter, when it's so dark out, the days are longer now. But in the middle of the winter, when the days are shorter and it's freezing cold and it's 22 degrees out and there's, no sunshine and no warmth, no natural vitamin D levels, it makes a huge difference. Right, Simba? You feeling okay, right? You gonna sleep here tonight? Okay, you can sleep here or you can sleep on my bed, okay? Because I'm going to bed. Right, Simba? Okay, you'll be a good boy, Simba. It is 7:51 in here, Splash. I got some sleep last night, like I slept, but the quality of my sleep wasn't that good, according to my Garmin fitness watch. And I've been pretty much like under stress all night while I was sleeping. And I could feel it. Like I could feel the adrenaline and the cortisol in my body. Like my body is very tense. I'm not relaxed. So when I woke up today, I drank some water, and right now I'm sucking on one of those theanine candies. So I'm hoping that helps to relax me. And I'm going to start working on some of my vagus nerve exercises. They're just things that I do to reset that, because that's what causes my anxiety. My body gets stuck in fight or flight, and it needs to get into rest and digest. That's why I can't eat food when I'm stressed out, because my body is not in rest and digest. It's stuck in fight or flight. Here's Simba. Good morning, Simba. The house feels so empty without Boo. Like, so quiet and so empty. This is the food that was left over from yesterday. So I think there's some baby food on this plate. Someone must have ate that. And this is the canned food that Simba and Splash had for dinner. They didn't really like it. This was something I was trying to feed Boo. There were crunchies out here for Splash and Simba last night. That's what they ended up eating. So I'm going to clean this up. Another thing that I need to do this morning is just get myself moving. Because the more I could get myself moving and drinking water, the more I could try to process this like cortisol and adrenaline and just start feeling better. And another thing I can do this morning is go stand outside, not with a coat or anything. Just I'm going to go stand outside barefoot in my pajamas, because cold therapy is really good at resetting the vagus nerve. And that's what I did weeks ago when I found out about this, except I would go out there in 30-degree weather and I would just stand out there for a few minutes and then I would come in. So today, right now, I think it's like 50-something degrees out there. And I'm like shivering right now, but I know that for me, that's like an anxiety response. I'm not shivering too bad, but like I could see the camera moving. The camera's moving like that. So that's what I have to do. I have to do like all these vagal nerve reset exercises today. I did some breathing when I woke up. Oh, and another thing I could do is put a cold compress on my head or behind my neck or on the side of my neck. That's another thing I could do. But right now, I'm going to get myself moving, see if I could burn off, this cortisol and adrenaline and see how I feel. It is 8:15 and I also did some yoga, just a few poses. The child's pose is very helpful for the vagus nerve reset. So I do it two ways. I do it with my arms and my hands extended out on the floor in front of me. And then I also do it with my arms and my hands extended like out on the floor behind me. And I do find it to be helpful. But what I'm realizing today, because it's so quiet in the house, is that Boo is my greeting committee. Like when I wake up in the morning and like I get out of bed, he's my greeting committee. Like he'll see me, then he gets up and he's happy and he stretches and he comes over to me and, he says hello. He's kind of similar to how Sammy is with the Lucky 7 downstairs. So like when I go downstairs, Sammy's my greeting committee. Like she's the one that always comes up to me first and she'll be like meowing and just really happy. And, that's the equivalent of Boo. And I'm not saying that like Simba and Splash never do that. I'm just saying that Boo does it like on a daily basis. Right, Simba? You're tired, you're upset. Simba's worried about Boo. You're okay, Simba. You're okay. Don't worry about yourself. Don't worry about Boo. Everything's going to be okay, Simba, okay? He misses Boo because Boo's his buddy. Boo's his buddy. Okay, Simba. There's Sammy and Goldie. Can you see them? I'm super zoomed in. They're still in bed. Here's Richard. He's still in bed. Here's Nancy. She's still in bed. Here's Ziggy. She was sleeping on the couch. She just got up. So who are we missing? We're missing Ringo and Eva. You're going to jump from there? That's a big jump, Ziggy. Big jump. Here she goes. Yeah, and that's why I have the wood on the wall. You heard her scratch her nails on the wood. So I am going to let everyone continue to relax. I'm not going to upset anyone this morning. I have to go upstairs, get ready for my day, and get moving. So this gives me a good opportunity. It is 9:20 a.m. and I am back to having to force myself to eat. So I'm going to start my day with 2 tangerines. Now I'm working on a hard-boiled egg. And after this, I'm going to have some instant oatmeal. I'm just following like the routine that I used previously when I was dealing with, Stella's passing and Sammy being missing, because I know that got me through that. So that's what I'm doing today. It is 11:41 a.m. and I am vacuuming the house right now. And I'm just trying to keep as busy and active as possible right now. I'm just trying to be productive, get a lot of stuff done this morning. So I already fed the cats, and then I scooped their litter boxes. I washed all the plates that were left over from Boo because I was feeding him such soupy food that I was not putting them on paper plates. I was putting it on regular plates. So I had a lot of dishes to wash. And now I am vacuuming the house, cleaning stuff up a little bit. And I was only able to eat half of a packet of instant oatmeal, but that's fine. At least it was something, along with the hard-boiled egg and the 2 tangerines. So that's what's going on. Here's Simba. He's not happy when I vacuum, so he's up here right now. So I did not hear back from the animal hospital with regards to Boo. I'm hoping that's a good thing, because one thing that the vet told me yesterday is that they call the most critical patients first and the more stable patients later. So, don't think it's strange if I get a phone call after 11 a.m. and now it's after 11 a.m. I do have an uneasy feeling in the pit of my stomach, like butterflies in my stomach. But I'm trying to manage this stress and anxiety the best that I can. And I just had a rescue remedy. And I just ordered a whole bunch of those theanine candies. Instead of having to go to the store and find them, which can take a long time, I just ordered a bunch online, a lot. So I'll have hopefully a several months supply of those should I need them, because they work so great. It is 1 p.m. Here's Sammy, Ringo, and Richard. They're hanging out here. And I just got a call from the animal hospital about Boo. They said he did good overnight, and he's been cooperating with everyone. And they did the ultrasound on him, and it appears that something is going on with his kidneys. He says it looks like there's disease in the kidneys. I mean, I don't remember exactly what he said, because I was kind of just, trying to take everything in at the same time. He also said there's thickening of his intestines, and his spleen looks mottled. So he doesn't know if this is cancer in Boo, or if it's IBD, or if his spleen is just working overtime trying to make red blood cells because Boo's slightly anemic, or if his kidneys are, looking like that because it's congenital or something. That's just how, he is. Sometimes cats do have abnormal kidneys. So what they need to do is a needle biopsy. They're going to do a needle biopsy on his kidneys and a needle biopsy on his spleen. They're going to do that this afternoon. And he says those test results usually don't get back for 3 to 5 days. So we won't know for that long. He's supposed to call me back later with Boo's kidney levels. I guess they're going to test his blood later and just let me know, because he's been on fluids, all day. They haven't fed him yet because they wanted to do the ultrasound first. And I scheduled an appointment to go see him tonight. They have visiting hours at night. They have visiting hours in the middle of the day, but with everything that's going on with Boo right now, I think it's a good idea. So I'm supposed to go there around 8 p.m. and visit Boo. And I hope he looks okay. After Stella spent, 24 hours in the other emergency room, she looked absolutely horrible. She looked great when I brought her in there. And then after 24 hours, she just looked like she was on death's door. So I hope Boo looks okay. And I hope my visit with him goes well. And I've been so calm and good about this whole thing. And right now it's just hitting me. And I'm so sad because I don't want to lose Boo. Stella passed away less than 3 months ago. And now Boo has this super serious diagnosis. I'm just trying to be strong and calm and get through this. And I have to be strong for Boo and do the best that I can for him.
So we did great overnight. Our vitals were nice and normal. nothing out of the ordinary. We didn't feed overnight just because of the abdominal ultrasound. And then we did get the ultrasound done this morning. He was really good for everything, his morning exam, for the ultrasound as well. A couple things were noted to be found. So the two big things that were noted on his ultrasound was his kidneys. Obviously, as we know, they're a little more prominent than normal.
Yeah.
And the kidneys do look like they have some form of infiltrative disease to them.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is some form of cancerous process, unfortunately.
Okay.
The reason we're thinking of that is because his intestines and his spleen also look like they have some concerns to them. So the intestines are very, very mildly thickened, which usually in a cat, the two primary differentials or the two things that we usually think of causing this is one, with some cats, they can get inflammatory bowel disease. And that it's basically like an upset, intestines, and usually that resolves with a small course of steroids and some GI medications and diet as well. And then the other thing is GI lymphoma, which is a cancerous process of one of our white blood cells that usually infiltrates the small intestines. His intestines do look thickened, but the other abnormality that follows suit with this is that his spleen looks a little more prominent and mottled. It has like a mottled appearance. And usually with a mottled splenic appearance, the two things we think of are, again, one, cancer, so cancer that is spreading throughout that, or two, something we called extramedullary hematopoiesis that's happening in the spleen, which is the fancy medical term for the spleen is working harder than normal, and it's producing new red blood cells. The spleen also has a role in breaking down old red blood cells from time to time. So throughout time, that can also be what's happening. There's obviously no confirmed diagnosis as of now. This is all just based on what the internal medicine specialist has seen on the ultrasound and the trends with his history and things. The other thing is his FIV positive status. So his immune system already is, taking a hit because of that. And usually cats that are FIV positive are at a higher risk of getting, cancer in the future. So in regards to moving forward, recommendations, I know we also have our kidney azotemia, so our values are high. We are on fluids, we are on medications like GI supportive meds, send out a urine protein ratio to make sure that the protein in the urine is real. And then, we're monitoring his blood levels because we don't want him to get anemic. The kidneys are responsible for producing the hormone that tells the body to produce new red blood cells. So when they're affected or they're defaced, like the structure of them are abnormal, sometimes they don't make that. And that can secondarily cause them to, become anemic. Right now, we're not truly anemic. We're trending low, but with his FIV status and his kidney enlargement, this could be his normal. So plan moving forward, a couple things. One, the internal medicine specialist does recommend, if you are okay with it, taking a needle biopsy of his spleen, and then possibly of his kidney, just so that we can get an answer of one, is this cancer, or two, is there something else going on? There are obviously risks with a needle biopsy. The two big ones are bleeding and infection. So we do have blood work on hand to make, that shows us that he's okay for everything. The blood work done on the 17th at your regular vet, he does have normal platelets, which is great. So he should be okay from the bleeding aspect. And then the second risk is obviously we can introduce bacteria and infection. It is a sterile procedure, so we clip and clean the area, do everything very, very sterilely as best as we could, but there was always that risk. And if something does occur, then usually what we do is we just do a small course of antibiotics.
Yeah. Does he have to be sedated or put under?
Nope.
Okay.
So he was good for his ultrasound and things like that. Usually they stay pretty still for that. If we do need to sedate, it's not like a general anesthesia, so he won't be as if he's going into surgery or like getting like a CT or an MRI.
Yeah.
What I usually do is we give him an injection of a sedative med that basically is like him getting 2 Benadryls, and then he'll feel sleepy. There are obviously risks with the sedation, just like with any procedure. So with sedation, the 2 big ones are, one, adverse drug reaction. So, some patients, some humans are allergic to certain medications, others are not.
Yeah.
We obviously monitor him throughout the process, and we use a low dose of the drug. And then the second one is with any sedation or any drug use, there's obviously the risk of sudden death.
Yeah.
Very, very low on the list, but
Yeah.
Always a possibility and a risk.
Yeah.
Okay, we do try and obtain the biopsies without sedation first.
Okay.
If they truly don't sit still or are uncooperative, then that's when we reach for sedation, okay?
So that's something you would do today?
Yeah. So I'll tell the internist, we'll sign up the procedure. She'll get it done today. I usually get the biopsy results in 3 to 5 days. So probably, since the weekend is coming, probably by Monday morning I'll get those results. And then we'll go over, what the results are. If they are cancerous, concern for a cancerous process, then usually we recommend following up and speaking with an oncologist if we do want to work that up and, pursue with treatment. Rather than sometimes if it's not a cancerous process or it's something else going on, then we talk about treatment plan moving forward.
I mean, if it was not cancer, what else could it be?
So it could be, if for his intestines, like I mentioned, it could be like the inflammatory bowel disease. His kidneys, it could just be a congenital thing. So was he always born like this? Very possible, but was he born with abnormal looking kidneys? For the spleen as well, it could be that the spleen is, just overworking itself.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it could have had like a previous injury, or it's just breaking down red blood cells more than normal and building new ones, things like that.
Yeah.
But the biopsy usually does tell us.
Okay.
There is a small chance it comes back inconclusive since the sample is a needle biopsy.
Yeah.
And if they do come back inconclusive, then usually we either say, one, we take another needle biopsy, or sometimes we'll just do a surgical biopsy, and we'll go in and take a small piece surgically.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, I mean, we just have to take one thing at a time at this point. So.
Yeah. Yes.
And he's doing okay otherwise?
Yeah, he's doing fine. I have him on his fluids. As far as plan moving forward, I would like to keep him on his fluids just because
are his numbers going down at all or not yet?
So I am going to recheck his kidney values at 4 p.m. today.
Yeah.
They usually don't drop drastically within like the first 24 hours.
Yeah.
But at least so that we have a baseline of where he is. A lot of times too, especially in cats that get chronic kidney disease pretty often.
Yeah.
Sometimes their values don't ever go back to normal, quote unquote.
Yeah.
They just go back to their new normal. So, he may plateau his values at a certain level, but he's clinically doing well. He's eating, he's walking around, doesn't seem
he's
in
eating?
pain.
He's eating?
No. I'm saying in the future, if his values stabilize and he's eating and we're not worried, then we can say,
you got me excited there. I was excited.
No. So he hasn't been offered food just because of the abdominal ultrasound. So now I'm going to sign him up for food. I am going to give him an appetite stimulant just so that he gets a little bit of a incentive to try and eat.
Yeah.
And then we'll proceed with there. I'll give you a call before I head out today just to let you know how his blood work is looking, how he's doing throughout the day, if he did eat, and then plan moving forward, okay?
Yeah, do you guys have visiting hours or anything over there? How does that work?
Yeah, so visiting hours are between 12:30 and I think 2 p.m. Probably wouldn't recommend it right now just because he'll probably get his procedure done.
Yeah, I don't want to get him excited. Yesterday he was too excited.
Yeah, and then we have late visiting hours, so you can do between 7 and 9 p.m.
So that would that be a possibility or no?
Yeah, it'll be a no doctor because I won't be here. So what they'll do is one of the nurses will just pop him into a room with you. You can spend time. Usually, I think it's between 20 and 30 minutes. You can hang out, and then once you're ready, you just let them know, and then they'll bring him back, and then start up his treatment.
Okay, again. So do I have to schedule an appointment for that, or do I just come there?
No, you can let me know, and then I'll let the front desk know that, what time you're going to come. Do you think you're going to come like 7:30?
Maybe like 8 p.m.
Okay. So I'll let the front desk know just so that we can reserve a room for you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then if you're a little early or a little late, just let the front desk know. And then, again, once you're done visiting, they'll bring them back, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
It's 3:40 p.m. Here's Sammy, Ziggy, and Nancy. Richard is on the floor. And I just got a call from the animal hospital where Boo is. So what happened was I had to run to the post office. And while I was out, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get a hamburger from a burger place around here. They're better than like typical fast food burgers. So I got one of those because I just needed something to eat that was going to be somewhat substantial, that I could, tolerate. It's going to be easy to digest. So that's what I got. And I came home and I ate it, and I was looking up stuff online, with regards to a potential diagnosis for Boo. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go sit in the sun for like 20 minutes, which I did. And it relaxed me so much, but it's really hot out today. Like sitting in the sun, even though the UV index wasn't very high, it's really warm out today. So I was like, it's just too hot out here. So I came inside and I laid down on the couch and I set a 20-minute timer. I'm like, I'm just going to take a nap for 20 minutes. And I must have dozed off because all of a sudden I hear my phone ringing and I'm like, what the heck? And I look at it and it has the name of the animal hospital on it. And I'm like, oh no, like my heart sank. I just had like a little heart attack because I was like, what happened, So I pick up the phone and it was their billing department, and they wanted to let me know that they're going to give me a daily update with regards to like the balance of the bill. And she says, they're going to call and let me know, and every other day they're going to email me. So I was like, okay. And so today so far is at like $3,100. Because, I guess they did the ultrasound, and maybe that includes the needle biopsies and the fluids and everything. So just taking it one day at a time. But I do like the fact that they do offer like a daily update with the total and the balance. So it gives you, you could figure out and plan, what you need to do and, stuff like that. I made sure that not only do I have the balance of my care credit available to use, that I have a balance on another credit card if it goes over the limit on the care credit. So that's the situation. I need to drink water because I'm dehydrated. So I just wanted to digest my lunch a little bit. And then I'm going to start drinking more water and trying to decide if I'm going to bring anything for Boo when I see him. Like, I don't know if they're going to let me bring anything for him. Like, I'm going to maybe bring his little favorite feather toy or maybe some treats, but I don't know if they're going to let me play with him or give him the treats. This is a much more professional hospital than the emergency room that Stella was in. So this is a book that I've had for about 25 years. And I know when I purchased it because inside it has this sticker and it says 72500. And I read this many, many years ago, and I remember it being an excellent book, and, totally changing the way I thought about so many things. And so the other day, I found it again, like the day that Simba went to the animal hospital. I looked for this and I'm like, it's a small book. I'll just throw it in my bag. I'll have something to read in the waiting room. Unfortunately, I forgot to throw it in my bag. But I started reading it the other day while I was like waiting for Boo's test results to come in. And I forgot what an amazing book this is. This is just such a great book as far as encouraging proper thoughts. That's the best way that I could describe it. This is bringing me back to who I used to be. Before all the drama with Stella, before all of the stuff that has been going on over the past several years, just in general, not specifically with me or the cats, but with life in general. I had gotten myself stuck in some negative thought patterns, which I didn't like and which were not helpful to me. And reading this book, like I'm not even all the way through it yet. I'm almost all the way through it. It's a very short book. How many pages is it? It's only 72 pages, so I'm almost done with it. I'm like on page 65. And I'm definitely going to read this again. And this author, James Allen, wrote several other books, so I'm going to look for those also. I just feel like this is getting my head back where it needs to be and where it was for many, many years. It's giving me back something that I have lost recently with regards to clarity of thought and focus of thought, positivity over negativity, and stuff like that. So I just wanted to point this out because I think this book has just been so helpful to me over the past week, and I'm hoping it continues to be as helpful to me as I move forward with this situation with Boo. I don't want to give up on Boo, and I want to stay positive. And I want to appreciate every minute and every day that I have with him and hope that there are many, many more days ahead with Boo. And obviously, this can be a very difficult time, especially depending on what the final diagnosis is. But this so far has just been so super helpful. Basically, what I'm feeling as I'm reading this book and what I'm remembering and what it's doing is it's bringing me back to peace of mind. Look at Ringo. The house is so quiet without Boo. I mean, it's quiet without Stella, but, you know, we've adjusted to that pretty well. And now it's quiet without Boo.
have to replace his IV catheter because the catheter was coming out a little bit.
Yeah.
So the nurses just replaced it. He was perfectly fine for that. We did get the aspirations of his spleen and the kidney.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent those out. So hopefully, as soon as those get back, I'll give you the update talk of what the findings were.
And once again, you said that would take how long?
Usually anywhere between 3 to 5 business days.
Okay.
So I'm hoping by either this weekend, maybe Friday. Sometimes they're a little early.
Yeah.
But if I don't get it by Friday, usually then it comes on Monday because of the weekend.
Okay.
But they're usually pretty good. But once I get that in, either if I'm not in the hospital, I'll have another doctor keeping an eye out for it so that we get it right away.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, plan is, again, we're going to stay overnight, try to get those kidney values nice and stable.
Mm-hmm.
We're monitoring, our pain levels, comfort levels, hydration, making sure we're not giving too many fluids.
Yeah, and is he doing okay with all that?
Yeah. Otherwise, his energy levels are nice and good. We did the aspirations, I want to say maybe 40 minutes ago.
Okay.
And he was nice and active.
So does he get like a painkiller with that? How does that work? Topical pain relief or something? Nothing?
So he is on a combined pain / anxiety med, but the needle that we use is so tiny they usually don't react to it.
Oh, okay.
So he did well for it. He didn't even really move or do anything much.
Okay.
But the medication I have him on is one we use for cats in hospitals with anxiety.
Is that gabapentin?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's on a lower dose just because of his kidney issues.
Yeah.
And he's been handling it fine. I did update and round the overnight critical care team that's here.
Yeah.
Just on his case, so they're keeping an eye on him. Otherwise, he's doing fine. Okay.
Okay. Great.
I am not in tomorrow taking over the case. If it's not her, it'll be another medicine member that's on the medicine service. So they'll give you a call early around, I usually say like 11 a.m. because in the morning there's I don't know how many patients she'll have.
Yeah.
And then they round their medicine. Every service usually rounds between like 10 and 11.
Okay.
If they finish soon, but she'll give you a call, review how everything's doing. The next 2 days she'll be here, so she'll probably keep an eye out as well for the FNA results that they get back. But again, if it's not her, it'll probably be someone else from the medicine team. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I just appreciate the information.
Yeah.
Kind of nerve-wracking on this end.
I know. But I already I let the front desk know that we're likely going to visit at 8, so you have your room and everything set up. They'll bring them up. You guys can spend time. Since it is a no doctor, there won't be a doctor that'll pop in since it's a later visit.
I did have a question for you. So, like, when I come to see him, can I bring him a toy, or should he not be playing?
No. Yeah, you can bring a toy. Sometimes I even encourage, since we want him to eat and do his things, if you have like treats that he likes at home or something.
Yeah, I was gonna bring him some of like the liquid treats that he likes, like the squeeze ups and stuff.
Yeah, you can bring that, and then if he does eat it and you want to leave some of that with us, I tell you the owners to let the nurse that brings him in or the assistant that brings him in,
mm-hmm.
So that they can put it on his cage, so that we know it's for him. Okay?
And then what about like actual food?
If you want to bring that as well, we have tons of food here, so he'll be getting offered a variety.
Okay.
But if he's like a picky cat at home and he wants his food, then feel free to bring that.
Yeah,
the only thing I think we can't take in is raw food.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't bring that in. But like recently, I bought some low phosphorus food for him, and he enjoyed it. And then like for like 2 days, and then when he really got super picky, stopped eating, not so much. So I'm thinking maybe if he's feeling a little bit better, he might want to eat it. I don't know. Yeah,
you could definitely try it. Sometimes they're picky for us in hospital, like the first day or two, and then we usually have owners come in and they're saying, "Oh, they ate with us on a visit." So
did he eat anything today?
Not much. No, he grazed a little bit of wet food earlier, but he hasn't had a full meal.
Yeah, like he just licks it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's been doing. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that.
So overnight, they usually try not to call owners just because there's limited on doctors
and
staff. So if you don't hear for us, I usually say no call is a good call. But if you do get a call, it's not the end of the world. Sometimes they're just giving you a generic update if something has changed, or if they want to recommend doing a diagnostic of some sort. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you so much.
No problem. I appreciate it. Do you have any other questions I can answer?
No, that was it really. Thank you.
All right. So enjoy your visit, and then again, keep an eye out on your phone in the morning for the doctor that's going to give you a call, okay?
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
It is 7:40 p.m. and I'm on my way to see Boo in the hospital. I hope he's doing okay. And I hope he looks okay. And I hope I could get him to eat something. I brought all kinds of treats for him and food that he, was eating a few days ago. I brought 2 toys that he enjoys. I brought him a paper bag to lay on. I brought him like a quilt from the day sofa in his room if he wants to lay on it for a little while. I don't think they're gonna let him keep this stuff. I think it's just, for the 20 or 30 minutes that we have when I'm visiting him. I was just trying to think of everything that I could bring him. I have some wet food, some dry food, and I just want to see how he's doing, see if he's okay, and how he looks. They did tell me that they gave him a small dose of gabapentin for anxiety and for pain. Not that he's necessarily in any pain, but they were doing the needle biopsies, and they just wanted to relax him a little bit for that. So I should be there in another 10 or 15 minutes. Hey, Boo! Boo, it's me! Boo, it's me! He wants to get out of here. He doesn't even care that I'm here. Boo! Boo! Come here, Boo! Here, look, Boo! Come here, Boo! Boo, I bought your thing. Come here, Boo! Come here, Boo! Boo, you look so good, Boo! Boo, you look so good, baby Boo! I got you treats, I got you food. You can't go home yet, Boo, though. Boo, you can't go home yet, okay? We can't go home yet, but look what I got you, Boo. Look. 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 Sit on here. Sit on here. Sit on here. Okay, don't jump anywhere. Boo, look. Boo. Boo, I got your toy. Boo. No, you're not jumping. Get down. Boo. Boo. Boo, look. Boo, look. Boo, look. Boo. Boo, look. Look, I got your toy. He doesn't care. You don't care about your toy? Come on, Boo, look. You just want to escape? Don't you want your toy? Get down. Get down. Get down, get down. Here, look. Boo, I got your toy. Lay on your bag. Lay on your bag, Boo. Lay on your bag, okay, buddy? Lay on your bag. Yeah, you're a good boy. You want to eat some food? I got food for you, too. I got food for you, Boo. No, you can't go out. Boo, you can't go out. Come on. Boo, don't jump. Get down. Get down. Don't jump. No jumping. Come here. Come here. Come here, Boo. I got you good stuff. Look at all this food I got you, Boo. Boo, I got your favorite food. No jumping. Come on, here. Don't you want to visit me? I came to visit you. I came to visit you, and you don't want to visit me? Come on. Over here, Boo. Come here. All he wants to do is walk around the room. And he wants to get out of it. Boo, come here. Boo, Boo, get down. Get down. Come here. Come here and get down. Come over here. Get down. Here. Here. Okay, is he going to eat some of their crunchies? Is he going to eat them? Okay, you eat them. He's eating food. He's eating food. Good boy. Good boy. You don't want this? This is your favorite. Eat that. You don't want it? Come here, Boo. Come here, Boo. Boo, come here. Get down. Come here, get down. Come here. What's the matter? You don't like me? What you doing? What you doing? Come on. Come here, Boo. Here, look. Don't you want to play? Don't you want to play with your toy? You don't want to play with your toy, Boo? What are you doing up there? You okay? Get down. Get down. Boo. Boo's eating some beef baby food. He's really hungry, but he's too, like, nervous with everything that's going on around here. So hopefully he'll eat that and then I'll give him more. He's been licking some of the wet food. But all he wants to do is walk around the room. Boo's trying to crawl in the bag. He's trying to crawl in the bag so I could take him home. He's been jumping all around the room. He's also been eating a little bit of food, so that's good. But he hears all these sounds. He's afraid of the sounds.
Thank you for watching this Lucky Ferals video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like me to post more videos, and please make sure to check out these other videos that were selected especially for you.